Hello and welcome to rinsefirst.com. My name is Justin Gehring and this is my first video post here on Rinse First as well as on YouTube. Just thought I'd give it a whirl today and see what the technology could do for me. So wish me luck with this one video here. Today I'm going to be broadcasting a very short video, basically one of my D&D highlight videos, except for instead of just the fast video with the audio underneath, I thought I'd try to explain what actually is going on so that people who have never seen D&D or don't understand the game kind of get a feel for how the game is played, not necessarily down to the rules or the dice rolls or anything like that, but just kind of an overfeel of what's actually going on in the story as things are taking place. So we're going to begin here in just a moment as the video winds up on the computer screen in front of me, and it does go fairly fast, so bear with me as I try to simply keep up with it. One other note, if you do like these videos, please leave a comment. I would be curious to see how many people like this kind of technology, and I might have to do a video post maybe weekly or something. So let's begin. You'll notice we start with an overhead cam here. That's for Gummicus, played by Tyler in Nebraska. We use Skype to connect him in, and it works fairly well actually. He's played basically the last 2 months over Skype. We roll out our giant map. This is the map for the world we play in, and then you see our dice there and all of our computers. I'm going to move the camera down here because Gummicus has informed me that it's easier to see if the camera's a little lower to the field. Plus it makes for a little better picture. Gummicus there is the wizard Lego piece you're seeing. Fort is the ranger that's standing right there. That's played by me. The character laying down is Alreza. You'll find that he lays down quite often. The character in the back that's about to be customized by Richard is Richard's character, Mikkel, a healer. The character in the bottom right corner of the screen that just moved forward is played by Mike. That is Rossi. He is a wizard of sorts. Did I say Mikkel? Mikkel's a healer, not a wizard if I said wizard. At this point, we're wandering around town. The group just got back, the original group of Al, Marcus, Splug, Gummy, Rossi, and Vakil. We got back from our last adventure. Vakil is put into prison. Vakil is played by Greg. If you're wondering why he got put in prison, you only need to know Greg. The Fort rejoins the group. He was not with them for a while. Rossi reveals himself as a wizard. We had just met him, so we didn't know his full background. Mikkel, the cleric, joins the group in place of Marcus, who had to leave for personal reasons. Gummy did some shopping while we were there and bought a +2 dagger, and Pancho Villa, formerly played by the person who is now our DM, also left the group. At this point, the pizza is arriving for the night. That's our sustenance to make it through the evening. At this point, we are talking with Lord Paydrake about a bounty on a Garrosh Varen, one of our reasons for heading to the Harkin Forest. We have a few reasons to head there right now. We're also talking with Darren the Merchant, who has offered to let us use his horses in exchange for providing him security, which helps us in our travels. We do provide him that security as the second night of our travels we are ambushed in the middle of the night. Gummy and Rossi are the first ones on the scene as they were woken by Gummicus's little pet. The battle quickly begins between this one wizard and our group. This one wizard, however, seems to be kind of demented, like something may have taken over his mind or that he's gone kind of crazy. The encounter goes very, very smoothly. No major bad things happen. Gummicus gets the kill here very shortly. And once we do that, we do discover that we should be seeking out somebody named Karavakos. We've already heard that name, I believe, once or twice. The wizard we discover is named Griffin something or another, and we take his staff, wand, bag of papers, and put it in the bag of holding so that we can take it to the Wizarding Academy when we get back to the town we just came from. When we get to the town we're actually heading towards, Fort goes to pray at the local Bahamut temple, and the rest of the group visits a guy named Shalegrave, who tells us about being ransacked by some dwarves. We then return back to town. Rossi installs a tracking device in Splug, and the group decides to investigate the forest on word of Shalegrave. And because Fort said it was a good idea. Fort's nature, however, is rather horrible, but thankfully his perception is not, and so when we ran into what almost was an ambush, Fort was able to perceive it, and we were very quickly to attack first. This encounter lasts a little bit longer, and so I'll show you a little bit of the mechanics as we're going here. You'll see Gummicus standing there in the back of the group. His favorite move is, or at least I think it's one of his favorite moves, is one that allows him to move through every guy on the board, generally within 7 squares. You'll see him do it very shortly here and deal a massive amount of damage in the process. You'll see him basically move from the bottom to the top right about now. The rest of the group, though, Fort and Rossi and Mikkel are generally distance type people. They'll try to back off from the group. You'll see Rossi and Fort standing on the back there right now. This is because they're ranged attackers. You'll also notice that Al has just fallen down. This is because he's been knocked prone. Al tends to fall down quite a bit. It's kind of the highlight of the night for many of us. Normally, though, he doesn't die in these battles. He's one of the stronger guys. Normally, if he's going to die, it's because he's drowning in water or falling into a pit. Another one of his character's traits. The battle ends very shortly here as we kill off the last guy. Very quickly, we encounter a tiefling vision ghost who we basically discover very shortly is Karavakos. He invites us into the pyramid, or more accurately, he pulls us into the pyramid against our will. We are sucked in, and we find ourselves in a pit, which is about to be drawn here on the board in front of us. The pit is very Star Wars-like, has some lizards in the bottom of it kind of that are attacking us from below. We can't see them, which makes the problem only worse. And then above the pit is a giant Eden. Obviously, our first goal is to get out of this pit so that we're not attacked by the lizards down below, and Mikkel tries first. Sadly, we learn very quickly that this guy has this throwing ability and very quickly throws Mikkel back into the pit. Fort tries to make a double attack here really quick and fails, sadly, because it's a daily. Gummikus gets out, but he too is very shortly knocked right back into the pit and knocked prone. You'll see this in just a moment. And then the rest of the group eventually does get out of the pit. We are able to make some attacks on him and eventually demolish him. Sadly, the video cuts out here in approximately 40 seconds, so you'll get to see some more of the battle taking place, but you won't get to see the ending. Rossi basically discovers a crystal ball with a head of the same race he is. This head is alive and speaking to us, at least somewhat alive. And she tells us about Karavakos and the wizard that is entrapped in this place. Basically, he was trapped here because of a deal with the devil that went bad, basically, or a bunch of devils that went bad. They trapped him here in a prison and broke him into 3 pieces. He's not able to escape, and pretty much nobody else has been able to either, because you have to destroy these 3 ghosts before you're able to get out. The head also has told us that she's been separated from her body, and we begin searching for the rest of her body as well. The group at this point is pretty badly beaten, but we do decide to continue on in our next encounter, which is the encounter we actually played last night. However, I don't know if I'm going to do another one of these videos. It's entirely up to you. If you think these highlight videos of D&D with me narrating over them using my rather crappy logs are worth watching, or if you simply think video posts with me in them, which I don't know why you would want this, but if you think video posts with me in them are worth watching, let me know, and I will try to make a few more of them and maybe start doing this, like I said, on a weekly basis. So simply leave a comment either here or on YouTube, and look forward to seeing you on rincefirst.com.